Okay, so if you want to see how easy it is to turn this floor into this, then stick around. I'm going to tell you all about this flooring, how easy it is to install, what it costs, and why I think it's one of the best garage flooring options, and also why it's not so perfect. So this is part 1 of my garage makeover series, the floor. Please subscribe to see all the rest of the videos. So this is the MotoFloor. I got it from Costco, but you can get it elsewhere. Get it while it's on sale, and it's close to $2 a square foot. Not on sale, maybe $2.50 or so. Buy it outside of Costco, and the prices go up. Okay, first, the install. Not that bad overall. These pieces snap together pretty easily. A lot of the install advice videos say to stomp the pieces together by foot, but that seems like too much work, too much bending over, and well, too much stomping. I don't know, maybe it's just me. My son and I just sat on the floor and used these rubber mallets. To start, you set down the width and the length edges and then fill it in from there. There's an edge completer kit that you'll also need with the little ramps for the entranceway. They were out of stock of the MotoFloor edge kit, so I settled on this less expensive brand and, well, it's not as good. They do make a special tile cutter, but if you're doing one garage, it's really not necessary. If you have nothing to cut with, I would honestly just recommend using the money to invest in a sliding miter saw that can be used in the future. I used a sliding miter saw and it was pretty quick. When you do cut it though, you can't go too slow because it will melt and it will create a rough edge. But you also don't want to go too quickly. You'll figure it out. It's not that difficult. You could also really save money and use a utility knife to cut and score and snap them, but it seemed just like a lot more effort. So far, this floor has held up pretty well. It's made of polypropylene, so it's pretty durable. You can see this one here. I mean, it's tough. I'll be doing a 1-year follow-up pretty soon, so please subscribe. In time, the white definitely looks more dirty, especially where the tires drive, but it really cleans up pretty quickly. It's not that bad. Again, I'll cover that in my 1-year follow-up. Okay, so why do I think one of these floors is probably your best option? Well, let's look at epoxy. Okay, that's a great solution. However, DIY epoxy, way too much work, and I've seen way too many of them fail. First, your concrete has to be suitable, meaning that it can't be too damp. If it is, forget it. Then, if it's saturated with any kind of oils or other coatings, or they use concrete curing compounds, your prep just got a whole lot harder, or it may not ever be suitable for epoxy. Then prep is the worst. The concrete has to be super cleaned, scrubbing, power washing, and they use acid or even grinding. Now, when you get to acid or grinding, you're really not DIY anymore. Oh yeah, and don't forget about any cracks or divots. You gotta fill those also. Keep in mind, this whole process takes days. Days of cleaning prep and more days of drying before the garage can be used. Where are you gonna put all of your stuff while this is going on? So you could spend a few $100s and hours of work putting an epoxy floor in yourself to find out after 1 season of normal use, the floor starts flaking anyway. Or you could spend a few $1,000s to hire a pro, who will most likely do a good job that'll last. However, this will still take a good week of not being able to use your garage. And a few $1,000s. Or you could spend about $1,000 and in 1 day install one of these floors on your own. Done. All right, let's look at some of the other benefits of tile floors. Colors, easier to do. Just buy different color tiles. If you damage a tile, just pry it out and replace it. No big deal. One of the biggest ones for me, who cares what shape the concrete's in? It can be cracked, oiled, stained, whatever. Just cover it up. I literally just swept my floor before putting these tiles in, and I didn't even do that good of a job of sweeping. Now, there are some hard tile options that I looked at, harder than this polypropylene, and I thought they looked fantastic. However, you got to have a completely level floor. Who's got a completely level garage floor? Okay, another benefit. You can take this floor with you. All right, I know it sounds silly, but you could pull up all of these tiles, pack them up, and take them with you to your next house, okay? I actually heard that in Europe. I know that sounds like one of these Bandcamp stories, but seriously, I heard in Europe, people get apartments in that. They put down floating floors and then they take them with them when they move. Kitchen cabinets, same thing. I don't know. All right, so let's look at probably one of the biggest downsides of this floor so far that I've found. Jacking the car up. I've got a pretty heavy car, a Tesla. It's about 4,300 pounds. And I found when I tried to jack it up, even just one corner, but and then honestly it ends up lifting the whole side of the car. It started squishing the tiles pretty far, okay? It didn't damage a tile, but it didn't look so great, and I could tell it wasn't going to last long, all right? I mean, it was clearly going to be messing up that tile pretty soon. So what I ended up having to do was buying a metal plate. And I obviously painted this one, make it all fancy, put a handle on it, and this is 3/8 inch metal. And I end up having to put the wheels on the plate, and I've got another plate here for the back wheels too, although the front definitely takes more weight, and that's where it will start crushing the tile. Now again, your tires don't have a problem because they are a lot bigger than these wheels. You know, there's a lot more pounds PSI, pounds per square inch, when you've got something this small, the small surface area, and you're trying to carry the weight of what would normally be a tire, which would, you know, take up a much bigger footprint and really doesn't do any damage to these tiles, as you can tell. You can see here where the tire sits, it is dirty. Again, I'll be looking at that in another video later. But the tile's not damaged. So, anyway, you know, I'm not a mechanic. I'm not jacking up my car all the time, but I do work on it time to time. And this is a pain. This is definitely a pain. You know, I used to just be able to slide my jack under the car and jack it up and not worry about it. Now I got to pull these plates out and move them around and adjust them. So, yeah, that's a downside. However, if you've got a pretty small car, this might not even be an issue at all. All right, something else that, I don't know, maybe this is a downside for you. I'm really kind of, I'm honestly, I'm kind of stretching to think of downsides of why I don't like this floor. And I'm kind of really struggling to come up with reasons why I don't like this floor. But here's one. When you walk on it, it sounds a little funny. All right, let me show you what I mean. Kind of sounds like you're walking on, well, plastic tiles. I mean, sounds a little hollowy, plasticky, hollowy, you know. I don't know, is that a downside? Maybe? You know, what are you doing out here? Tap dancing? Well, then maybe it's an upside, I don't know. All right, at the end of the day, you put a super cool floor in your garage, and to keep it looking super cool, you're gonna have to clean it. Yeah, it's a pain. It is a pain, definitely. But you remember your old crappy concrete floor? Didn't look so hot, did it? You know why? Because you never cleaned it, all right? So with a floor like this, you are gonna have to clean it. However, once again, subscribe. So I'm gonna show you how to clean this floor really quick and maintain it, all right? It's really not that hard. And it looks sharp, all right? This floor is this is about a year old already. And it still looks great. You know, I'm really happy with it. So, hey everyone, please remember to like and subscribe. Okay, remember, this is just part one. Stay tuned. Hey, any questions, please leave them below, and I will also answer them in my next